They said they trying to recreate the Big Bang with the CERN machine. Now look at what these people look like, y'all. These people look like a CERN machine. And they are recreating the Big Bang. Right there in Mecca. A human CERN machine, or a turn machine, or a churn machine. It's just about turning, stirring up the ether. And when you stir up the ether, you open up a portal. That is the Big Bang. That light, when that portal opens up, the light from the other side gonna bleed into here. And that's what we harness as energy. The light from the other side is the ultraviolet light that we don't see, but that's what's powering all your technology. Spirit or spiral energy, spirit, spiral. You see, it's that simple. This was the knowledge of Eden. When the serpent said, "Let there be light," they was talking about this light, cutting your lights on in your house, electricity. Look where the light coming from, out the cube. Genesis is talking about generating energy generators. When man learned about himself and what the earth was, he became powerful. He turned the lights on. Let there be light don't mean that the earth just began. It meant that these folks who wrote the Bible just learned about electricity with they slow ass. Our people been knew about it. And they want you to think that the world started when they found out light. What did they say? Genesis is the beginning of the world. But what did I tell you? What is the world, man? The WHIRL. Genesis represent the beginning of world religion. Not the beginning of the earth, dog. That was when man found out world power. WHIRL. When man found out how to create the world, it say, in the beginning, the world was created. So Genesis represent when we was able to power our houses, generate electricity, and we start worshiping gods like Zeus, which is another way of saying juice, because that's what term for electricity, juice, energy. Zeus held a lightning bolt. That is man harnessing the power of electricity. But when man learned that, he didn't teach everybody. The men that learned how to harness the power of electricity, they were the Zeuses. And everybody else just worshiped them. They worshiped the Zeus. But they weren't a Zeus because they stole the knowledge. We all used to be Zeuses or gods, the one who held a lightning bolt because you knew the secrets of the universe, and that made you all knowing and all powerful, which is the definition of God. Genesis don't represent the beginning of the earth. It represents man's dumb ass learning how to churn the Milky Sea. And why I call them dumb? Because we lost this knowledge because we was egotistical. This knowledge been on the earth. We been dumbed down. Hindus been knew this knowledge. They been knew how the serpent said, God don't want you to get powerful like him. Yeah, the electric companies, Monsanto, the power companies, they don't want every human to know how to make power. It'll stop their monopoly, which is based on propulsion and energy. It will crash all of the royal families in this big scam of fiat government. They didn't work for their power, they stole it, and they siphoned it right from the souls of humanity, which is why the church and the state work together. That serpent in Genesis told you, God don't want you to know the truth. And when we think in terms of energy, vibration, spirals, waves, we end up doing stuff like this. This is Tesla knowledge. World religions are based upon the knowledge of Tesla, y'all. They just turned it into some dumb shit so you don't know the secrets that you're being harvested. But see, all of these people just think, I'm doing this because my mama did it, my daddy did it. This ritual was written out by the archons. They forced this upon our ancestors, and then our ancestors taught us this shit, and now we're passing it down generation after next. Our ancestors did not willingly participate in this. They knew that it was vampirism. They knew that it was harvesting the energy to make their enemy powerful. That's why they was killing our ancestors who didn't want to be religious. If you didn't want to serve their God, they'll put you to death. They killing you because you won't empower their family. They're trying to siphon your energy out of your soul. The people who knew that was willing to die before they gave these vampires any of their energy. Do you hear me? A person would say, it ain't that deep, man. Like, why would you die? I will fake like I'm serving Jesus. You can't fake this. The moment you partake in the religious ritual and kneel before this thing, your energy is gonna be harvested, dog. And that means whatever energy that you give to this cube, when you die, you got to go and get it back. In other words, you can't leave none of your energy anywhere outside of the base reality without going back and get what you lost. When these Muslims die, they don't go back home to Eden. Their spirit is literally recycled at the Kaaba cube. They're born again through a family in the Middle East. And until they break their spell of religion, they can't escape the fucking reincarnation cycle of Saturn, which is what they're making, Saturn. Right now, they're making Saturn. This is the whole thing about the Saturn reincarnation matrix. Once some of your energy get tangled up into this religion, you got to trace your steps back. In other words, when our energy leaves the body, before it go directly back home to the base reality, it collects all of the pieces of itself on the way back home. And that's why we gotta be born again, because some of our energy got captured in different universes. And so when we die in this universe, you gotta go reclaim that energy out of that avatar. You shattered into different versions. And what's happening with religion, they're shattering you some more. They're breaking you down into more versions. That means you gotta die more times. So whenever you give your energy to this thing, that's your spirit essence. That's the soul energy. You can't go back home incomplete. The only way you can go back home to the base reality is if you've collected all of the pieces of the self. So it's gonna make your journey to go back home longer if you keep shattering yourself into pieces. And that's what religion is doing. Dividing you and conquering you by giving you another avatar. How do they do it? When you die in ignorance, you come back here. The knowledge and the truth is the only thing that set you free. So they give you another body. And they tell you that my God gonna give you a new body when you die. The true God ain't gonna give you no new body. The true God gonna hand you your old ass soul. The fake God wanna give you a new body. The true God just wanna return to you your old soul that's buried up under all them new ass bodies. Them new bodies ain't nothing but a container for a battery. Your body ain't nothing but a damn battery. And everybody say, I want a new container for my energy. You want to be a cell again? That's what battery is, a jail prison for your energy. You want to be one of these again. That's what your God promising you. I can make you, what your God is saying, when I use up all the energy out this battery, I'll put it in another battery. Battery is body. The human is a battery, man. You literally are a battery. The gods are saying, when all of your energy get out of this battery casing, we'll put you in a new casing, and a new casing, and we can recycle your energy in new casings. Does that sound fun to you? to be constantly harvested as a fucking energy source for archons. But that's what religion is doing to you. It's harvesting you. You Christians, you doing the same thing. All of the churches you going into, the reason why the church and the state are connected is because all of the churches was once connected to the energy grid. They still are. The powers that be are literally dealing with the electric grid that we live on. And all of the churches are part of the government and the state because the churches were the first extensions of the energy plants, of the powers. From those churches and temples, you had your house. Your house pulled its energy from the nearest church. These are what the churches and mosques was for, to give us power, not for you to go in it and pray for power. It was literally an energy machine. All of these churches and mosques and obelisks and all that, you put your electricity from the nearest antenna or church that was near you. So how people today say, I go to the nearest church in my community and I serve that church. It was just the opposite. The churches served us. We didn't serve the church. We wasn't servants. We was the ones getting served by the church. And they were serving us electricity to our houses. Let there be light. That come from the church, because the church literally gave us light. It was a lighthouse, a generator of electricity. You get what you put in. That was the original economy. When you went to church, you paid your tithes and offerings, meaning you gave energy. The true currency is the energy in your body, man. They turned that to the symbol for money. We didn't pay no money to the church. We paid Kundalini. We didn't put no money in the plate. We put energy in the building. And everybody was able to power their house off of praise and worship. That's what God is, power. And we manifested God through praise and worship. They saying the same thing in the church today, but they don't know what it means. So it's a bunch of just tradition and spookism. But this is how they created the dollar sign symbol. And the true currency is our energy. It ain't no fiat paper dollars, man. This was what tithes and offerings was about. And because you paid into the church, you can get out of it. That was a reciprocity-based economy. Today we getting robbed blind. Today they are vampire because we so dumb, y'all. They taking advantage of us. We getting robbed blind because we don't know our worth. Knowledge is power. What knowledge? The knowledge of self. People talking about if you fill out your paperwork, they owe you money because your social security card is worth money. Your Kundalini energy is worth money. This ain't about no paperwork. This ain't about no sovereignty. This is about you stop being indoctrinated, giving your goddamn energy to these false foreign frequencies because these gods are pagans. And these pagans are real technological entities that we don't see, that is intercepting all our energy when we pray to them and shit, because that is sound, and sound is energy. Think in terms of vibration, frequency, sound. Why you think they got everybody praising? Listen.
ليجزي الله كل نفس ما كسبت.
Don't you know that this is a mantra? And while they go around the cube, when you talk about cymatics, the motion, what they're doing right here is a big ritual of how to generate energy, dog. Dude, we using soul power. Now they try to call it solar power, but it's soul power, not solar power. Cause it ain't about the sun, it's about your soul. Each human is reflecting the light of the heavens in their own pineal gland. You are a reflection. You are a reflection of the higher self in the flesh. This is literally what's happening on earth. We are beings of light that can't see our own light.